Right, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be our series on the European road trip, and we are actually back from the trip now, and you can see the car needs a really good clean. Now, over the course of this week we did 2,200 miles across Europe in 7 days. So I've gone back through all the videos, and what I've noticed is we spend a lot of time in the car, so quite a lot of the videos are us in the car, but we do visit the places, and we do some kind of like short looks at them, but we don't do really detailed walk-arounds. Also, this was a holiday, it wasn't for YouTube, but hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy. Right, welcome to day one of the European tour in the Z4. So if you didn't watch my prep video, which you probably didn't because no one's watched it, we are doing a European tour in my 2020 G29 2-litre Z4, and we are with my friend Steve, who is in his 2009 3-litre E89. So it's me, my son Steve, his nephew Will. So as a reminder, well, we're currently on our way down to the tunnel, and we're going to drive from Calais to a place called Epernay, which is just below Reims. From Reims we're going to go down to Geneva, then from Geneva we're going to go across to Monaco, and then from Monaco to the Millau Viaduct, then I think to Bordeaux, a place called Angers, up to a place called Rouen, via Le Mans. We're going to go to Le Mans racetrack and then back home again. Now, we kind of planned this a few months ago, and I've spoken to a few people about it, and I've spoken to a few people who've travelled through Europe, and I've spoken to some French people at work, and when I tell them what we're doing, they all go, "You're doing what? Are you mental?" Because the number of miles that we're doing, and I think we might have overdone it a bit on the miles, so we're going to be spending a lot of time in the car by the looks of things. But first time we're doing this, we're going to have to see how it's going to go. We're going to take you on the journey with us. This is going to be a kind of series of videos and all the things we do on this road trip. Hopefully it goes well, hopefully we don't break down, and we have a good time. So there won't be a lot of recording on today, I think. I think I will do it when we get to Le Château, and then I'll do some recording when we get into France. But keep watching, we'll see you at the tunnel. Right, we've arrived at the tunnel, and to be honest, I've got no idea where I'm going. I've never done this before, and I have no clue what I'm doing. So hopefully it's straightforward. One says passenger, one says freight. Passenger, car. Right, here we go. We've arrived at the tunnel, and we're at the entrance. It's quite busy, but actually quite early. We've made the trip in about 2 hours, so we're here a little bit early. Kind of hope they might let us on an early train, but I don't know, it looks pretty busy, so let's see. Right, it's letting us on an early train, an hour early. I just hope that Steve has also been given that option, otherwise we're going to be in France an hour before him, which is going to be painful. Right, so Steve has actually got on the 9:48 train, we're on the 9:36 train, and we've kind of gone through passport control. That's all gone pretty smoothly, actually. The whole thing so far has been smooth. It is a little bit confusing where you actually have to go and whether or not you're in the right place, but I think we're about to get on. I think something, no idea. Big queue. I guess these people all over here are getting on a train quicker than us. Right, so we're just getting on the queue now, I think, to get on the train. I think if you look down there, you can start to see all the train tracks. What we're also going to try and do on this trip is add up all the costs. So we're going to add up all the miles that we do, the toll roads, the petrol costs, the hotel costs, any other costs, and then we'll give you a kind of rough idea of how much all of this costs. For context, we're going in the UK summer holidays. It is August. Yes, this is something I've seen on other YouTube channels where people get on here and it looks like it's really kind of like tight and then you have to turn around. I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to curb my wheels multiple times on this trip, and I've just got to accept it. I think I've already done it once at the ticket booth, and I just have to get them repaired when I get home. Ah, there's people who are going up there, up a ramp.
Oh, he wants us to go up there.
Go
Go up the ramp, go up the ramp, go up the ramp.
We're going up the ramp then.
Yeah. That's pretty safe.
It's actually alright. It's pretty wide. Oh gee, this looks tight and I can't really see what I'm going for.
Go forwards.
Something beeping. That is tight. Oh, there are windows. Thank you.
So engine off, handbrake on, leave it in park, please.
We made it on the train, and it's quite good. We're on a train that's an hour early, and that was actually quite a smooth process. Just going through passport control, waiting for another sort of 20 minutes. You can go to the toilets. There's toilets right by there where you're waiting in the lanes, and there's also a burger van as well if you want to get like burgers or coffees or anything like that. And yeah, now we're on a train. I think it's a 35-minute journey, and then we're in France. Bonjour. Right, just while we're listening to that French message, I got a croissant because we just got to go to France and have a croissant. Anyway, they're from Tesco's. Anyway, I've just sat in Steve's car because they pulled up alongside us even though they're on a different train, and it's so much tighter and smaller in there. It's like I sat in it and like the steering wheel is like it's right there and everything is just like crushed in, and he's like, yeah, it's because it's a real sports car, the E89. And I'm like, yeah, let's see how you feel when we're like 1,000 miles down into France, see if you're still comfortable with that thing being a sports car. I've arrived in France, and that is unbelievably quick. It just feels very quick. Like you sort of get in, you pull on the train, you kind of get out for a few minutes, go to the toilet, and then they're like, oh, we're about to arrive. And then you come out the other side, and then you're in France. I don't know why I find that amazing. People who've done this loads of time don't, but I find it quite fascinating. We are now in mainland Europe. This is like the weirdest experience ever. I've never done it before. I'm driving a right-hand drive car on the wrong side of the road. And it's kind of bizarre when you go around roundabouts and like the oncoming traffic is on the passenger side and it's just like screwing with my mind. Steve is a little bit behind us and he's got no sat-nav. This is how disorganised. Alright, something I need to tell you about Steve. He's the most disorganised guy ever. I'm the organised one. I've booked all the hotels, I've done everything, and he's one of them people that just floats through life and everything works itself out. And it works out well for him. I'm not knocking him, but he's just like, he's got no sat-nav. He's just, I'll just follow you. But he's quite a way back at the moment. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of concentrate on my driving because I've got no idea what's going on, and this is just a bit of an odd kind of experience. Right, Steve's caught us up now, he's behind us, we're on a toll road, we're on our way to Reims. We've got 2 hours and 41 minutes, 284 kilometres down to Reims.
You had the camcorder out.
First stop at the service station. Bloody hell, it's busy. Very busy.
Yeah, it looks like loads of people have had the same idea.
This is we've done our first stop at the services, and this is really busy. Like, cars all over there, just trying to get through to go parking to go into the services. This is mayhem. Never seen a services this busy before. This is mental. Right, don't stop here. We're 113 k's to go, heading down towards Reims.
Yeah, fuel is about 154.
I know, that's what I said on the way down. It's expensive. I thought it was going to be cheaper here.
Yeah, I thought that. So here we are on the motorway.
Yeah, it'd probably be cheaper in town, but I just cannot believe how busy this is. It's mental.
No, yeah.
We've got these walkie-talkies. It's a really bit of a lifesaver. Roof is off for the first time on this trip. We're in a service station with a million people looking at us. And this is the most bonkers service station I've ever been in. I cannot believe how many people there are here. We're back on the road. We've got just over an hour to go, and we're on this toll road that's taking us down to Reims, and it's just been a dream to drive, really. It's just one straight road all the way to where we want to go. No traffic so far, and easy, really. Right, we're finally off the motorway. We're 20 minutes from our destination, and we're out in the countryside, and the roof is down. Steve is behind us. He's got his roof down. He had to stop to put his roof down, that's the only thing. We're now out in the countryside. Got no idea what this Epinay place is like. It might be the complete slums. I have no idea. Let's just see what it's like when we get there. One of the things with Steve is, about a few weeks before he decided to come on this trip, he decided to have a major ankle operation, which is just classic Steve. He had the cast taken off on Thursday, and it's now Saturday. I think the doctor wanted him to keep it on for another 2 weeks, but because he's coming on this trip, he just wanted it taken off. He's wearing a boot, he's in crutches, he can barely walk. And in my boot, I've got a scooter, which he's hoping to use while we're here. And that is just typical Steve, that is. Anyone else would have been like, do you know what, we'll leave it till next year, we'll leave it till Easter. But no, he's like, yeah, let's go. And here we are. His nephew, Will, is having to do everything for him. He's like a carer. Another thing that Steve has done is he's bought a camcorder. And this camcorder is like something from the maybe even the 80s. I mean, who brings a camcorder? I don't even know if that'll be SD. I don't even know what was before SD. Was it black and white? But anyway, it's old. And I don't know what he thinks he's going to do with this camcorder. But if I can get any of the footage, I'll put it on this video and you can kind of see what it looks like. You can actually see one of his crutches in the middle. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but you can see a crutch in the middle of them both. Right, we've arrived at the first place, which is an Ibis hotel budget in a little place called Epinay. It's alright, it's just basic Ibis stuff. Bathroom's quite modern, and we got like, yeah, We got a double bed and a single bed and a strange little window. Nightmare. We're going to go for a walk up into the kind of centre-ville of Epinay and see what it's all about. Day 2 of the French road trip. So last night, well yesterday, we stayed in this place, Epinay, and it's quite a strange little place actually. It's like there's loads of like apartments and things here, but there's just no people. There's hardly anyone about. The bars and everything closed really early. We ended up in this most bizarre bar, which was kind of like half a newsagent and half bar music with loads of high-end technical lights going on. But we couldn't really do too much recording yesterday because, to be honest with you, it's a bit kind of weird, the whole process. First time we've ever done it where we kind of got on the tunnel, well, driven to Dover, got on the tunnel, got into France. So the recording yesterday wasn't great. And we are not expert YouTubers, so we missed loads of stuff. But we're going to try and get some more recording in today because really yesterday was about getting down to here. Today we're going to drive down to Geneva. We're going to go over to a bakery now, get some croissants, get a drink, and then we're going to start making our way down to Geneva. And that's going to be a 5-hour drive today. All good with the car so far. Steve's basically ran out of petrol. Yesterday's petrol light has come on, so we need to go and find a fuel station, fill up, and then it's a 5-hour-ish journey down to Geneva. So let's go. Right, Steve, what are your thoughts on the trip so far?
Well, a great start, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shuttle was excellent.
Yeah.
The trip across France is great. The roads are fantastic, and our first little place is brilliant.
What did you think of the bar newsagent last night?
The nightclub newsagents?
Yeah.
I thought was it's a little bit different, but the drink was very, very strong, wasn't it? So we asked them to recommend a drink, and they recommended a drink, and honestly, one glass of it, gone.
And that was the Z4.
Oh, that's fantastic. Best Z4 by far.
How much petrol you got left?
Not a lot.
This car park last night was an absolute nightmare. Basically, I came into it, you have to pay €10, you pay it up front for your ticket, and then I got in and it said leave now. I had to drive out of the car park and back into it, get another ticket, and then after all of that, you can just drive out of it anyway. What a joke that is. No idea, we just had to go in there and prepay. But I don't know how much it's going to cost to fill this up. It's a bit like the American system. But like I say, it's quite expensive out here. €1.75. I don't know if it's just this place, but it's expensive. I don't think this is going to fill the car up. I've put €60 in, but I don't think I've quite calculated it right. Right, how much fuel does that put in?
That's full.
373 miles though. We had 400 and something yesterday. But yesterday we had 470 miles on full. And now it's 370. It's probably because we were doing like 80 mile an hour the whole way. This is nice for these trees. This is quite a nice area.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Cool. I don't know what he's doing. He's just saying, can you hear me? I'm saying, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? He goes, yes, I can hear you. But surely then we can both hear each other. What is he doing? Have you actually got anything to say, or do you just want to say, can you hear me? Over.
Saying if you can hear me, that's all.
Okay, over.
Okay, over. The only problem is, I'm with Boy Racer, who likes going fast and slow. And making a lot of noise.
Keep up. Right, so we are 2 hours into this journey down to Geneva, and we're going to do our first stop at the services. Nothing really to port. It's quite amazing, really. You kind of get out of Calais. It feels like there's just one road that takes you all the way down to the south of France, to Geneva. What I'm thinking is once we get past this next services, I imagine we're going to start to see the landscape change a bit, and we'll start to see the Alps, but that's just a bit of a guess from my part. I have flown into Geneva before, and I remember flying through mountains to land, so I'm guessing the landscape will start to change. But so far, it's just miles and miles of countryside. I mean, they can't struggle for crops out here because it's just lovely weather. Just green everywhere, and it just goes on and on and on. Right, we are out of these services, and the services here are absolutely mental. I mean, they're nice, they're big, but there's just so many people. I think it must be because it's summer holidays, but it's just mental when you go in there. The number of people is just chaos. But we've obviously got Hop along with us, who managed to get in there and get a drink. What?
Sorry, I had the window down.
Why do you need to tell me that?
2 minutes.
Anyway, we are now on the way. 2 hours, 20 minutes to our next hotel, to Geneva. Because we're in France, we've picked up some baguettes, ham and cheese.
Test review.
Spaghetti. Right, we're just kind of 36 minutes from Geneva. We kind of went through this kind of tunnel, and then we came out on the other side, and the scenery has changed dramatically. It's very mountainous, still very green. Obviously it's summer, so you're not going to get snow, but the scenery is beautiful. Right, so we got to our hotel in Geneva and we've dropped our bags off. It's like a little kind of like chalet hotel. I'll do some shots of it for later. But we just went through this most bizarre border. We're staying on the French side and we're coming across into the Swiss side. You go through this most bizarre border situation. There's no man, there's no one checking passports, and you just kind of drive through these kind of like slow little bit, and then you're in Switzerland, which is just mental. I will film it on the way back just to show you what it's like going back into France. But yeah, we're 10 minutes away from Geneva, and we're going to try and drive down there and see if we can find somewhere to park. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm hoping it'll be all right, but I don't really know anything about Geneva. I don't know how big it is, how busy it is, what it's like to park. I just know that it's very expensive. That's another thing when you come in Switzerland from France. You have a change of currency. We're now into Swiss francs, but thankfully I've got my Revolut card and it doesn't matter because you can just use it anywhere. It just seems to work wherever I go. Never quite know if that's a good thing or a bad thing really, but it just works. This is where Google's taken me to.
Right, so you're at a tram stop. You're now on a tram lane.
Yeah, I don't...
I feel like we're maybe not allowed in.
Yeah. Yeah, Google tried to take me down a road that only trams can go down, so thanks Google, that's useful. Just got myself into a right old situation. It's proper hectic here. It's like a Sunday and there's just bikes everywhere. It's just like, it's just bonkers. And it's like I say, I wouldn't want to be doing this on a Monday, but it feels like we're now in the centre of Geneva and we're trying to find somewhere to park. And I've just found somewhere called the Harbour Pub. So we're going to go there, we're going to drop off Steve and then go for a little walk. This is nice.
Yeah, this is lovely, isn't it?
I suspect parking might be at a premium.
There's a Mont Blanc car park on the right.
Bienvenue. We are sat. Please use the payment machines located. We are about to rip you off with some massively overpriced parking. Have some of that.
It's just luxury watches everywhere.
Ugh. Right, you're gonna have to get a ticket.
Ah, Christ.
This is one of the problems.
What button am I pressing?
Green? No. Car sounds like a police car. Right, so we've just been around Geneva. Actually a very nice city, it's very beautiful. We walked around for a bit. We left Steve in a little bar because obviously he can't really walk, and we kind of walked around all the water. I took some videos of it. And now we're gonna go, I'll quickly show you when we get back here, the border going back over into France. And then Will and I, who's Steve's nephew, have made the executive decision to go to a water park. There's a water park near our hotel, which has just got, it's quite small, it's got a few slides on it, but we're gonna go there, and because it's really hot, it's 32 degrees. We're gonna go there for a couple of hours, do some slides, and then probably just get a McDonald's and go to bed because we're knackered. Just gonna sort of try and have a chill out night because tomorrow it's gonna be a long day. We're driving down to Monaco, and we're gonna drive through the Mont Blanc tunnel, through the Alps. We're gonna touch Italy as we drive down the side of Italy, and then come back in along the coast to Monaco. So it's a long day tomorrow, about 6 hours driving without stopping. But we want to stop along the way and just do some, some viewpoints, hopefully through the Alps, and see some things. So looking forward to the drive tomorrow, but I want to be fresh for it. One thing with Geneva, it is incredibly expensive. I think most people know that that's how it is. As we sort of went for a walk and left Steve, he bought a beer, and how much was it?
12 francs.
Yeah, 12 francs for a beer, which I think is about £11 for a bottle of beer. But yeah, the actual everything here, you can just tell is expensive. Expensive cars, expensive shops, just everything is expensive. But really nice, feels really safe. And I would consider coming back here for like a couple of nights just to kind of explore the place. But there are other cities that are probably just as nice as it, and they're probably half the cost. So it looks nice, but I think it's a bit cost prohibitive to come back here. So we're just coming up on the what I think is the border. There's like a line on the Google map. This looks like a different way to the way that we came in. It still kind of fascinates me that you just drive through here and you're in another country. I don't know why that fascinates me, probably because I live in an island, but the fact that you can just drive through there without showing your passport, without going through any sort of security, you're just in another country, just like that. And I found that on the Eurotunnel as well. There was no security checks. Just drive your car, you're in another country. It's mental. I mean, obviously you have to show your passport there. Yeah, this is it. We just drive through here, no passport checks, no security checks, just you're in another country. Here we go. We're in Switzerland. Through here, we're in France. It makes me, it screws with my mind, that does.
Well, you wouldn't get that somewhere like America.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that in America. Just drive from like Mexico to America like that. Bonjour, bienvenue, sur toi, en France. That is translated to, hello, welcome to day 3 of our French road trip. We are out on the road early. The hotel we stayed in, the reception didn't open till 8, the breakfast didn't open for ages. We tried to go to the McDonald's that was next door. That doesn't open until 10:30. The local supermarket doesn't open until 8:30. Nothing in France opens early. So there's a lesson learned. Right, I don't really know how much I'm repeating myself here because I know I said this last night, but I really don't know how this video is going to edit yet. But today we've got a long drive ahead of us, more than 6 hours. We're going to just, in about 50 minutes, we're going to go through the Mont Blanc tunnel. And then we're going to go down through, well, we're going to travel through the Alps, and hopefully get some nice shots there, and then down through Italy, kind of past Turin, and then back into France along the coast and to our hotel that's about 10-minute drive outside of Monaco. So we're going to try and make a day of it today, just seeing all through here and the sights, get to the hotel a bit later, and then stay in that hotel and then go into Monaco tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of day of driving, hopefully some really great sights, hopefully not so much time on the motorway today, and we get to see some interesting stuff. So let's go. Right, we've arrived at the Mont Blanc tunnel. It's a bit strange. There's a big queue of traffic. Google says we're going to be sat in like 13 minutes of traffic. I'm hoping that it's just like you are queuing to get into the actual tunnel, and then when you're in the tunnel, you can drive. It says when you're in it, right, that you're only allowed to do 70, and you're not allowed to be within 150 metres of another car.
Oh, well, we're knackered then.
Yep. Anyway, we arrived at the Mont Blanc, and it looks like it's a sort of 13-minute wait. Hopefully it's just a 30-minute wait. They let you in the tunnel and then it's clear when you're in it. Otherwise, if you sit in traffic through the whole of the tunnel, it's pretty crap. Right, we are in the Mont Blanc tunnel. We're not going to be able to do it with Steve, unfortunately. It's €54 to go through here. It is mental, but apparently it goes on for 11 kilometres. Realised, but now we're actually in Italy now, which another border crossed, I think. There's Italian road signs anyway. Everything's got a bit Italian. This road's pretty impressive. Right, so we are now through the Alps. The Alps is behind us. And we are well and truly into Italy, and now we're going to start going south through Italy and then come back into France along the coast and then just along to Monaco. We're on an Italian toll road and our kind of radar thing doesn't work there. I pulled up to the toll and I have curbed my wheel massively. I just heard it just went all along the toll booth, so it is what it is. And now we've got 3 hours and 50 minutes until we get to the hotel. We'll probably do another stop, I imagine, along the way, and yeah, make our way to the next stop. Right, quick update. We are in about 10 kilometers. We're going to leave Italy, go back into France. We've completely lost Steve. I don't know what happened, but quite a way back I was going along and I just kind of missed the turning off that Google was telling me to go off, but then Steve wasn't immediately behind us. They were a few cars back, and I don't know what they've done. We need to do a bit of a debrief later to work out exactly what they did. But anyway, they ended up going in completely the opposite direction, heading towards Milan and Genoa. So we've now completely lost each other. They're probably about an hour away from us, I think, in the opposite direction, and we're just going to meet them at the hotel. I think they're actually going to drop down to the coast road. The sea's right next to us there, and that's something I would have quite liked to have done. I've got no idea how you get down to that coast road, and to be honest with you, I've been driving for nearly 6 hours today and I'm about done of driving. We didn't do a lot of videoing as we sort of went round because the roads are beautiful. It's through lots of kind of like windy roads, and you go through a lot of tunnels, but to be honest, after a while on YouTube that just gets a bit boring. And also a lot of the time you're on a bridge that looks amazing, but the car's too low and the bridge barriers are too high and you can't really see anything when you're filming it anyway. So we're going to get to the hotel, park up, have a look around, and then wait for Steve to arrive at the hotel in the E89. Right, I think we've come off the motorway now. We are going to go down to the coast, and there are some proper windy, narrow roads here as we come off. Whoa, that's a tight bend. This is Google route. This road on here. Nice.
Wasn't quite bad.
My car is quite wide.
That's not gonna work.
What are you doing? Why was he going so fast?
I know.
See if we can get through here. This is Google screwing us over. See if we can get through here. People probably look going, don't see too many of them Z4s around here. Still driving Ferraris.
It's going pretty precisely.
Morning, right, welcome, day 4 of our road trip, and we're standing in a place called Cape Martin, which is like about a 15-minute drive outside Monaco. We've got the sea is right there. You see the landscape's changed significantly since we were in Geneva. Staying in this place, which is the Hotel Victoria, which I'll do another review on that. Didn't really do an outro yesterday because it was absolute chaos when we got here. The parking was a nightmare situation, trying to get the car parked. You have to park on a road. Luckily we managed to get a space that's just round there. I'm just going to go and check on the car, see how it's getting on. But it was quite stressful when we got here, but it's all good now. Steve is parked over there. He's managed to get a space right outside because that's just typical Steve. They arrived 3 hours after us. I don't know what they did. They took the coast road and it was really slow. Right, but I've managed to park here, which is quite handy. I just want to show you something that I did at the toll road yesterday, which is going to look very painful. And there it is, Look at that. That is nasty. Jeez. The other thing I'm finding quite a lot out here is they seem to have a lot of flies and mosquitoes and things that we just seem to just be driving into in the road. Luckily, I've bought some screen wash with us. I'm having to just keep cleaning it off all the time. But today, we're going to have a rest day. We're not going to do any driving, and we're going to take an Uber into Monaco, and we're going to go and check out the casino and the harbour, because tomorrow we've got a big drive ahead of us again, because Steve has decided he wants to go to this place called Verdon Gorge, which does actually look really nice, but it means we have to drive 2.5 hours outside of our original journey. So tomorrow is actually going to be our longest drive now. I thought yesterday was, but tomorrow's going to be our longest drive, but it's well worth going to Verdon Gorge because it looks really nice. Right, so we are going to leave the Z parked here all day, and it's going to have a day of rest. We're going to walk along this kind of beach area here now and go and get ourselves some breakfast, and then we're just having a bit of a chill day. So we'll do some updates from Monaco. Just got dropped at this hotel. There's a Bentley, Ford GT, Ferrari, Lambo, Roller, Porsche GT3 I think. Let's go on this camera. Ferrari, a gold Ferrari. Ferrari, Aston, Ferrari, Lambo, Ferrari, Rolls Royce, G-Wagon. We took an Uber and we got ourselves dropped off at this Fairmont Monte Carlo. You've got all those cars out at front, and then Steve has just got out and he's got that out of the boot in front of all the cars. Here we are, Monaco. Not quite sure where we're going, but it looks impressive so far. And Steve wants to go through the tunnel that you see on F1, and he wants to go through on this scooter. I personally think that's a bad idea, but Steve wants to do it. It makes me laugh. You got a Fiat 500 surrounded by Ferraris and a Lambo. Range Rover actually looks quite cheap out here. Another Ferrari there. An Urus. That looks like that Yanni, guys. He's got that paint job. The tunnel that you always see on the F1. There's another Rolls Royce. There's a lot of building work going on here though. It's not very pedestrianised.
They're doing. They are building more land.
Oh right, yeah. They've actually just built more land. That actually wasn't there. That's amazing. Building out into the sea.
Yeah. It's worth it. Those
Yeah. Imagine these ones that you've got on the front. You were thinking, oh, I've got a view out here for life. No. We'll put some more land in. Right, Steve wants to do a shot. Oh, I've got to push him. Watch out for these people.
What is he doing?
I don't know what he's doing, but he doesn't really fit into the Monaco way of life, does he? This is actually, when you see this on a Bentley, so many nice cars here, it's ridiculous. When you see this on the F1, they kind of like scoot round here, but it's a lot more narrower than what I think it looks on the F1. Then the sea is to the left. We just seen an Audi R8 and we were just saying that that's actually a cheap car out here. A Range Rover is probably a cheap car out here. There's the iconic Monaco harbour. We're just trying to work out how much it must cost to leave your boat in this place. Problem is, it's about 34 degrees at the moment and we're all a bit sweaty. So we're going to drop Steve off at one of these places where it's probably going to be about 25 euros for a cup of tea, and then we're going to go for a wander around. I really want to go and see the casino, And we think up there, that might be where the prince lives, the king or whatever it is. Just discovered the BMW store in Monaco. You see the sign?
I wonder if you can go there and just buy. It's very highbrow.
They actually got anything nice in there. Steve, you got your BMW key?
Simply the best.
Got your key on you, so you can show them. They give you a free coffee. Somewhere, I don't know. Day 5, French road trip. We are leaving this place, Cap Martin. I fully recommend staying here if you go visiting Monaco. It's outside Monaco, 15-minute drive, beautiful beach, beautiful location, loads of restaurants, much cheaper than Monaco. Definitely worth staying here. I would stay here again, 100%. We've actually done 2 days here. This has been our middle rest day. Now we've got decided to do a diversion day to Verdun Gorge. It is a 3-hour diversion. We've got 7.5 hours worth of driving to do today. So we're leaving early. It's 7:35. Gonna get some petrol and then we're gonna go. So long day of driving ahead. Oh, did you want to? Is your screen need cleaning? Are you alright? Someone's nicked Steve's BMW badge. That's not good. I think you can get them online, but how bad's that? My key is in the car and it's locked it. Luckily the roof's down, otherwise we would have been locked out then. Right, so we are off. We're just going to stop at a gas station. As I said, we've just pulled away there and someone's nicked Steve's BMW badge, which, I mean, you can replace them, but it's a bit naff when things like that happen, isn't it? But I'll still say this is a great place to come. We've got, as I said, we've got a lot of driving ahead of us today. We'll try to do some filming. One of the things we're finding on this trip is we're not really expert YouTubers. We're trying to enjoy the trip and we're missing out quite a lot of stuff talking and videoing, so honestly I've got no idea how this video is going to turn out. Apologies if it's rubbish. One thing I always do on a BMW is switch off this auto stop. It drives me insane. I don't know why you can't just switch it off in the menu. You've got to do some sort of like special coding thing to switch it off, but I don't think it's good for it. I did read some stuff online to say it messes with the starter motor over time. I have no idea how true that is, but I just find it a little bit annoying. Unless you're going to be stopping for a long time at train gates or something, when you're just going through town like this, keep stopping, starting. Can't imagine it's good for the engine. Okay. So we've just counted up the number of miles we've done so far on this trip, and it is 977 miles. So that's our total mileage count so far, and we are at the most southern point we're going to be on this trip. And now it's a case of just going across France and then back up north again. I'm just trying to get out of this petrol station and leave enough gap for Steve to follow me, because we don't want to lose him again today like we did yesterday. Yo, you there? Hello? Are you there? Where are you? Hello? This is what happens when they leave their walkie-talkie on. They never charge it. They leave it on, and they wonder why it doesn't work. As I've said in previous videos, me and Finn are mostly organised.
What, these walkie-talkies were a good idea.
Yeah, brilliant if you actually answer. Anyway, total mileage count so far is 977 miles.
Yeah, that's not bad. I thought it'd be more than that. Actually, ours is more than that. Ours is about 1,200. Well, took the wrong turn in.
Right, so I decided to overtake one car, and then somehow we've lost Will and Steve again, and we've ended up, we were only apart from each other for a couple of minutes. Somehow we've ended up miles apart and completely lost each other. So we're now sitting waiting at this roundabout, hoping that they're going to come down here somewhere, but I've got no idea. Lesson learnt, don't try and overtake a car unless you can both overtake it. But we've just been through the most amazing drive all the way up these kind of windy roads. We did some video of it. It was just such a nice drive, and we're just out here in this kind of like wooded area. No idea where we are, but we've still got an hour to go till we get to our first stop. And this overtake has just cost us about 25 minutes, so lesson learned. Right, we've arrived at Verdon Gorge, and the drive up here was something else. I definitely recommend that drive if you're coming on one of these trips. We're going to go and check out what this is all about. We managed to get a parking space right at the top, and we're just going to go for a little bit of a walk around to see what is going on. It's like making me nervous just hanging over. Look at that. It just makes me feel a bit like insignificant. Oh, you can actually walk down some steps over there. Look at that.
I've got to say, I think that's more impressive than the Grand Canyon, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Look at that. It is, I don't know if the camera's really doing it justice, but it's so hot. Yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done, but bloody hell. It's like we're in front of Titanic. Save me, Jack! Oh, mate. There's not a lot of water down there, though, is there?
Jesus.
Yeah.
What, for you?
Is this a good idea? Should go and get the camcorder, Will. Yeah.
Here, let me zoom in.
Right, so we've left that Verdon Gorge place. That probably was worth the drive. The drive up there was amazing, and the views are out of this world. I don't think the camera will do it justice. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Grand Canyon. It is really, really impressive. But now we've got, well, 4.5 hours now ahead of us. We're driving down through Montpellier, and I think we have to drive through the centre of Montpellier. There doesn't seem to be as many big motorways here as what there was earlier on in the trip. And then onto the, we're going to be staying near the Millau Viaduct. I think we're actually staying in a hotel that pretty much overlooks the viaduct. I don't think there's a lot there from when looking at the picture. Morning. Right, I think we're on day 6 now, and we're just leaving our hotel in Millau. And we actually drove over the Millau Bridge when we came in yesterday. We weren't really expecting it, and it was absolutely hammering it down. And so it was just mist on one side and then rain on the other. So that was a bit of an anticlimax in the end. We stayed in that Abyss, decent hotel, nice and clean. Basic, but does the job at a reasonable price. We are, and it had a swimming pool as well, which is quite strange. But the weather seems to have changed a bit, and we don't have the sun that we had on the previous days. But we are just going to go down into the actual Millau village and hope to get a slightly better view of the bridge from here. So, yeah, you do by the looks of it. It's incredibly cloudy today though, so the clouds are just above the bridge. But we're going to go down into the town and pick up some breakfast, and then we're going to drive to Bordeaux, which is our next destination. But we've decided that we're going to take, instead of just going on motorways, we're going to take more of a kind of country, across towns country sort of thing, because motorways are dull. They are quick but dull, so we're going to take a slightly longer route and make our way over to Bordeaux. Both cars are holding up well so far. I don't want to curse us, but both cars are holding up well. Every day I have to have a clear out of all the junk that we just seem to accumulate in here every day. I think I said before in a previous video, we did buy a fridge from Amazon. It was 30 quid, and it's been an absolute lifesaver because we just kind of put it the other side of the hatch that we've got on this car. It's in the boot, and we've connected it via old cigarette lighter. There, the cable goes through into the boot, and we can just put our arm through there and get an ice cold drink when we're on the road. It's been an absolute lifesaver for us. Right, can't find my wind muffler. We've just pulled up in this little village. There it is. We've just pulled up in this little French village, and we could not have pulled up into a more French village if we tried. It's a Thursday, right? It's 11 o'clock. Look how many people's just here. I'm sure French people just don't work, but it could not be more French. They're French bowls. There's loads of them. This little old kind of restaurant cafe thing which we're going to try and go to over there. There's an M235i we've just seen. And there's the Z4s in the background. But Will is checking out the French bowls. Let's go and have a look. Look, they've got all the trophies. This must be it. This must be the big championship, the big event of the year. Thursday the 15th of August. It's probably dead at the other times when you come down here. Oh, there he is. Mr. Steve, I'm not on a coffee diet offer. What do you have to say about your coffee?
It was very nice, actually. I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them for free. Only paid for one.
Well, I just keep losing stuff. There you go. Right, we are leaving the most French town known to man. And they're probably thinking, we're all these odd English people just turning up in our village for our annual Bowls Festival. Yeah, we came all the way over here for it, mate. Let's go. Ooh, nearly crashed. Nearly crashed.
Again.
They want to go, well, we want to go on some sort of like country roads and things rather than just sitting on motorways all day, but it is a lot slower. But you get to see things like this. You get to turn up in little villages. Steve went into that cafe. They ordered one hot chocolate and one coffee, but somehow Steve ended up with 3 coffees and 1 hot chocolate, and he's just drunk 3 coffees and he's completely wired now. So he's now got to sit in that car wide awake, and he's probably going to need a wee every 5 minutes. But anyway, we're going to go to a next little village which looks pretty nice in the pictures, and we're going to check that out. I'll tell you another thing about the French, a couple of things about their driving. They love their hazard lights, and they do love an arm out the window. So they kind of do this, and they just kind of flop their arm out the window like this, and then they just start waving it around and then just flop it back. And sometimes it's just the driver, sometimes it's the driver and the passenger, but they just seem to have this like floppy arm thing going on all the time. Don't know if that's just a French thing, but I don't see it in England. Yeah, I've probably just given him the flappy arm signal and whatever that means. Oh, and another thing that we keep seeing here, I don't think I've got any shots of it, is that some of the towns, their signs for the name of the town is upside down. And we were trying to work out what that was all about, and we just Googled it, and basically it is the farmers, it's their way of protesting of the challenges that they face. So they just go around and unscrew the town signs and turn them upside down. I don't know exactly what these challenges are that they're facing, but all the town sides are upside down, so strange. And now we are faced with a load of cyclists, and you see this a lot on these routes, just cyclists, and they're really hard to pass because there's like probably about 10 in this little group. It just becomes a nightmare. Another thing I've sort of noticed about France is there's hardly any people about. I don't know where they all are. We going through all these country roads for miles and miles. It takes you ages just to see one car. And we were kind of talking about it, and we were wondering if it's because they've got so many motorways, toll roads, and everyone just uses them, and it just frees up all the country roads. There's hardly anyone on it. But even when you go into sort of little villages that we've been going through, I mean, that one had people in it, that one we were just in, but loads of the little sort of villages before that, you just drive through, it's like a ghost town. There's just no one there. Oh. Sorry. I can't help it. As you walk away, it locks it. I didn't lock it. I suggest you take that back. Right, we're going to look at a bridge. Right, if this bridge is rubbish, it's Will's fault. It's going to be one of those things where you walk up to it and you go, oh, that's a bridge.
Oh yeah, look.
Be soundtracks as well.
There you go.
Well, that is just a
We shall name it Will's Bridge.
bridge.
Yeah. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Press the button to put the roof down. The windows go down, but the roof don't go down.
This happens every time I try and do it.
And I press it again and it goes down. Good thing is, Steve can't do this with his car. I've just offered him to have a 0 to 60 race. He doesn't want to do that either because he thinks he's got too much weight in his car. And he thinks that his car doesn't accelerate as well or something. But all he's told me about is how good his 3 litre is and how faster it is and all this. Well, I was just moaning about the fact that you don't want to race me. That you don't want to race me because your car's too overweight and your acceleration's not going to work, and it's just a big pile of excuses.
If we race you and we beat you, you're just going to have the grumpiest look on your face for the rest of the trip.
Right.
And then you're going to say, oh, I'm going to get an import.
I don't think you will beat me. That's the thing. I don't think you will.
What are all these excuses about then?
I'm up for the challenge.
What is he doing?
So many of those E89s, the roof breaks. And it would be hilarious, wouldn't it? they were just stuck with their roof down the whole way and it starts raining. Will went in to get a croissant this morning, and he went up to the woman and says, "Bonjour, ça va?" And then he goes, "Deux croissants, pour favor," which is basically 2 croissants and then please in Spanish. And they just look at you like you're an idiot, and then they just speak to you in English. And it's the same in McDonald's. I really struggled speaking French to this guy, trying to order hot chocolate and a Fanta Zero. And he just went, he made me struggle through the whole thing. He goes, "Okay, thank you, if you could just come up to the next window, please." And I think they're just winding me up. I'm not sure, it feels like it's going to rain. Good thing is, we can still put our roof up while we're moving. They can't. Steve and Will getting into the French way of life, the old arm out the window. They've acclimatised to it. I think we should do it. I'll do, yeah, arm out the window. I'll do it full on French though. I'll do it full on French arm out the window. This is what they do. Right, decided to come to Bordeaux. Apparently, this street that we're about to walk down is the longest street in France. There's actually quite buzzing here, isn't it? And we've come outside the HMS Victory, where we're going to leave Steve, so he can get a drink, and then we're just going to go for a little bit of a walk around Bordeaux. And it is pretty big. I don't know if you can really see. It starts down there. There it goes. It does go on for a long time, so we're actually going to walk all the way down it. Right, good morning. I think we last left you in Bordeaux. We went into Bordeaux town centre, and we just got up and we've come to a little village to get some something for breakfast. If you're coming this way and you're going to Bordeaux, or you're doing one of these road trips, I fully recommend you go to Bordeaux. It's a great city. We went in there last night. It's absolutely buzzing. There's just bars everywhere. Everyone kind of sits around in this square, and there's like loads of bars playing music, and it's just like there's a real kind of like buzz to it. And our friend who's on the trip with us, Will, we discovered last night that he's an absolute karaoke maniac, and as soon as he realised there was karaoke going on, he just turned into a complete lunatic. And I'll play some of the B-roll here because I can't actually play the music, but he played Oasis Rock and Roll Star, and everyone in this bar was just like cheering him and getting right into it, and it was just a lot of fun. So we're all feeling a little bit sort of tender this morning. We just, especially Will and Steve, because they drank quite a bit. I didn't drink, so, but it was just a bit of a late night. So now we're just kind of getting up, and we're on another drive. We're going to do the same as yesterday, where we don't go on the motorway, and we're going to go through the country roads, and we're going to go through part of Loire Valley and go through some of the national parks. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good shots on that. And then we're going to a place called Angers, which looks like another kind of quite interesting city, and we're kind of coming towards the end of our trip now. Right, we come through these villages. There's another one where everything's closed, and there's just like, you wander through, you just don't see anyone. Really strange. They're really nice villages. We actually spoke to someone yesterday, and what they said is, basically in August, everyone takes holiday. Pretty much everyone takes holiday. They close everything up and they go to the sea. So when you go through these villages and there's just ghost towns, it's because everyone's gone on holiday. And we just went into a spa. There's just no one there. And like all the shutters are closed on the houses, and the shops are shut, and completely different to England. This looks like a nice village though. It's quite nice just going through all these empty villages. You don't get any traffic. Stop to this really cool place. You can go canoeing down here. And there's kids actually on one of the rings. Looks like you can go canoeing all the way down there. Will, the karaoke man, is also going to go swimming. We've got to film him jumping in. This will wake you up, Will. Right, I'll do 3, 2, 1, you go. Right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that was actually a really nice little place, and that's one of the benefits of coming through these little towns and coming off the motorways instead, because you just get to see the real France, I suppose. Morning, squeaky wiper. And as you can see, which is really annoying actually, as you can see, today it is raining. And that's why we have made the decision to, well, we went into Angers last night, we had a nice meal, came back to the hotel. To be honest, everyone was knackered and we just kind of like had an early night. And what we also did is we checked out the weather when we got back and we realised today it's going to rain all day, so it's just a bit naff. So what we decided to do is, we're going to go home a day early. So instead of going to Rouen, we're just going to go to Calais today and then get the train back. We managed to go onto Le Shuttle last night and change our ticket, and then we were able to cancel our hotel and get a full refund, so we've done that. So today what we're going to do is we're going to drive to Le Mans and we're going to go and visit the Le Mans Museum, which is an hour from here, spend a couple of hours there, and then we're going to drive 4 hours to Calais and then get the boat home, and then it's another 2.5 hours home from Calais once we get there. So a lot of driving today, but I think it's the right decision because it's basically just going to rain, and all we were going to do was just drive to the next place, stay overnight, get up the next morning, go to Calais. So it's really, we might as well just go home. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go and check out Le Mans. Let's go. So that is Le Mans Museum done, and it's right actually. We'll put some of it in the video, but not all of it, because if you want to come here, have a look around it yourself. But now we got a nice, oh yeah, and the museum shop is crazy expensive, but that's just normal for museums, to be honest. And now we are gonna do a 4-hour drive back to the train. You witnessed me doing some prime maintenance tasks on my BMW because I'm like a mechanic. This thing, I filled it up before we came
with water,
and it's, wow. It said it was it's not spraying properly, but that's full up. How can it be full when I've used it loads? I think we may have a problem because it's not really spraying that well. But when I put that in there, it's completely full. And I have used it a lot. So,
mechanic.
Anyway, another successful job by me. We'll just close that and pretend that I've never been here. We've made it through passport control, and the queue was massive. My advice is it says you can leave the car park an hour before, but which will probably be all right, to be fair. But the queue for the passport was huge compared to what it was in the UK, and you have to go through 2 passports controls. So first you go through the French, you drive on a little bit, then you go through the British. So it's 2 queues, but the British queue seemed to be a lot quicker than the French queue. Fascinating this, driving onto a train. You have to get into this little track. Try not to mess your wheels up. Still confused about, oh, there you go. Ah, that's a nice one. Didn't scratch the wheel though, that was just a tyre. And then you just keep sort of driving through here. What I do is I wait and make sure I can get a space in the next carriage before I move. Otherwise I'll get stuck. And what they say when you get on it is you should have your windows half open, and that you shouldn't really get out on a train. But to be honest, everyone gets out and stands around. And there's the toilet. There's these little toilets, so you can go to the toilet on here as well. Right, so back in England, we're back on the right side of the road, and to do a quick summary of the trip really. First of all, trying to do this on YouTube, it's really quite hard actually. This is the first kind of trip we've done where we've tried to do videos each day and sort of do like add comments. Normally we go away, I might do a review of a hotel or a walk along somewhere or something like that. Whereas this one we've tried to do every day. It's actually really hard, it's actually quite annoying. And a lot of the time when you're in a car, we've kind of seen things while we're driving along, and then by the time you get the camera out or the phone out, connect the mic and all that, you're way past it, so you kind of miss it. So there's a lot of things that we've just missed on this trip. I just realised that I'm just not very good at this YouTube stuff, so I've really got no idea how this video is going to come out, and if you're still watching it now, well done to you. But summary of the trip. First thing I was just say, we come back into England and the roads are shocking. We just spent a week in France and the roads are so nice. Really nice tarmac, smooth. We didn't see a single pothole in that entire trip. And I'm sure there are potholes around France somewhere, but we went through a lot of France and we didn't just stick to motorways. We went through little villages, towns on different roads, and did not see a single pothole. So why can't we just sort this out in England? Our roads are terrible. Pay a ridiculous amount of tax. We pay real high taxes and everything, and the country is just a mess. So just get that little rant out of the way. But onto the trip, I would say it's actually a brilliant experience. And if it's something you're looking to do, please add some comments, ask me any questions, because we've probably got a lot of knowledge now doing it. We started out our trip, as you remember, in Calais. We went down to a place called Epinay. I would say out of all the places we visited, that was the most boring. I would say if you're doing this trip, don't stop in Epinay. It's a bit dull, to be honest, not much going on. If you're going there and you need to stop somewhere around there, stop in Reims. It's more of a built-up, bigger city, and it'll have a bit more going on. But from Epinay, we then drove down to Geneva, and Geneva's lovely. I'd probably go back there if it wasn't so expensive. That's the only thing that would kind of put me off it, but really nice city. And we stayed in kind of strange, quirky hotel, which I did a separate review on, and the room wasn't great, but the location was kind of cool because it was about 10-15 minutes drive outside Geneva, and also it was right next to this kind of water park thing which we went to, and that was a good laugh, and that was quite a good location. Hotel was a little bit on the shabby side. From there we went through the Mont Blanc tunnel. That was a bit of a disappointment. It's not worth the 50 odd euros. Better off going one of the other free routes. It's just a long tunnel. It wasn't particularly noisy from the cars either. I don't know what they've done, but you couldn't hear the roar of the cars when you're going through there. So if you're doing a car trip and expecting the Mont Blanc to be really noisy, it's not compared to the other tunnels. So we went through there, we skirted down Italy, and we ended up in near Monaco in this place called Cap Martin, and that was beautiful. I'd highly recommend you stay there if you're doing one of these trips, and it's a brilliant location. It's right near Monaco. In fact, if you walk around Cap Martin, you can actually see Monaco. It's like about a 15-minute walk, and you can kind of see it as you look down onto the coast. Beautiful place, much cheaper than Monaco, way cheaper, way less hectic, but just got a real kind of nice chill vibe to it. We had a nice hotel. We stayed there for 2 nights, so I wanted a bit of a nicer hotel just to kind of relax in. So really enjoyed it there. So from Cap Martin, you drive like 15, we got an Uber, 15 minutes into Monaco. Absolutely roasting. I recommend don't go there in August. I mean, it's good, you got to go there if you go there, obviously, but it was so hot there, and there's so many people in Monaco. It's just a bit mental. We stayed in Monaco for a few hours. We went on that little boat ride. That was good. We got to see what we wanted to see. Saw lots of nice cars, and yeah, Monaco was good. From there, we went to the Millau Viaduct. That was kind of our second slight disappointment because we didn't show much of it on the video, because we'd done so much driving that day because I forgot something. Once we left Monaco, we did this 2.5 hour diversion into this place called Verdun Gorge, and the drive from Monaco, if you don't take the motorways, it's beautiful. It's the best drive we've done on the trip. Loads of windy roads through real nice little towns, up mountains, just a beautiful drive. And when you get to the top of where that Verdun Gorge is, that is spectacular. It was 2.5, 3 hours diversion out of our way, but it was well worth it, and I'd 100% recommend you add that into your trip. So Verdun Gorge. But obviously from there, we then drove to Millau, and to be honest, it felt like a long day of driving. And as we were kind of coming into Millau, it started to rain, and as we went over the bridge, it was just really raining quite hard, and it's just like mist on one side and just rain on the other. And to be honest, we were knackered, and we just had enough of driving. It was just too much driving. And then the next day we got up and we drove to Bordeaux. Now that was a fantastic city, such a great vibe to it, that city. Really enjoyed it there. We had a great kind of like meal in the square and a night out. This is when Will turned into a complete maniac because he just loves karaoke, and he ended up doing 2 songs on the karaoke. He was the best there by a mile, even though all these other people had tried. He was so good, they bought us over 3 shots, and then at the end of the night they asked him to do the closing song, to which we haven't got that on video. So, but he kind of, the first one he did a song from the Smiths, then he did Oasis, Rock and Roll Star, and then bizarrely the last song he did was like Twist and Shout. But apparently he had the whole bar up rocking. We'd already left by then because we wanted to be able to get up in the morning. But yeah, that was brilliant in Bordeaux. And then from Bordeaux we went to a town called Angers, and that was pretty nice as well, nice and built up. By this point though, we're getting pretty tired of the journey, tired of all the driving, and we decided last night, we looked at the weather and we thought we're going to call it a day early, and instead of going to the next town, which was Rouen, which is just another city which is like all the other cities, we decided to come back, and now here we are back in the UK, driving back home. Another hour and a half to go, and we'll be back home, and it would just be nice to get in my own bed. As for the cars, they've been fantastic. I mean, touch wood, no issues at all with either of the cars. Even Steve's car, which you kind of think is a 2009, it's done 50-odd thousand miles. You'd think maybe that would get a little problem. Nothing wrong with it, it's done really well. Obviously he had his badge stolen, which is annoying. I've scuffed the wheel, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. But no breakdowns, and the cars have been brilliant. So if you're thinking of doing one of these trips, go and give it a go. It's a good experience, good laugh. We've visited multiple countries all in a week. I will add up the total miles and the total costs, put that in another video, but we've done somewhere in the region of 2,200 miles or something like that would be my guess. And it's been a great week. So if you've made it this far, well done. If you're thinking of doing your own trip, put some questions in the comments, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Right, so onto the costs of the European road trip. So just go through it. So firstly, the shuttle. The shuttle was £319. It was in the UK summer holidays, so it's a little more expensive. I actually used some of my Tesco Club Card vouchers, and you can convert these into double their value. So I actually paid about £150, and I used about £75 in Tesco Club Card vouchers to pay for this. Fuel for the entire trip, that was £271. We did do 2,200 miles, so I don't think that's too bad, especially considering that some of the places in France were actually pretty expensive for fuel. The tolls were £204, and I think that's money well spent, really, because it's saved us so much time going on those tolls, and we wouldn't have been able to complete the entire trip if it wasn't for going on those toll roads. The hotels, that was £683, so that is kind of slightly skewed by the hotel that we stayed in down near Monaco in Cap Martin, where that was £156 per night.
And we stayed there for 2 nights, so £312 of the £683 total was for those 2 nights. So not including food and drinks and stuff like that, the total cost of the trip was £1,477. And I think that's pretty good value for the great trip that we had. So thanks for listening. If you've listened to the end of this, well done. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.